In the old building, I'd always remember coming in through the front doors, and I would see all my friends and stuff, and I would smell them cooking the lunch in the cafeteria, like the smiley face tater tots. I always liked those.
So they called my mom and, of course, made her come down and make me apologize so I could come back into the class. It was over something silly to me, and I just was being a little brat. I'm not gonna lie, I was being rebellious.
I remember the smell of the old building. It was kind of just, it smelled like there's a lot of generations there, and I really remember the cafeteria, and I remember all the long hallways.
If you could think of a Southern gentleman, that was Mr. Culbertson. He was wonderful. He was fair and consistent and so mild-mannered, but was able to control any problem and handle any problem as a gentleman. To see so many of them come back and succeed, I've had former students run me down in the mall asking, you know, aren't you Miss Peacock, or aren't you from St. Andrews? And they tell me how well they've done and what they've done with their lives, and it's so exciting to see them and their children.
But one thing I do remember about the cafeteria, we had the stoplight, red, yellow, and green. So the red would mean no one could talk in the cafeteria, and the yellow would be, you know, just use your 6-inch voices. I do remember one time, I think it was an accident where they put it on green. So of course kids just got wow.
I thought it was really nice, though sometimes the trailers could confuse me. Like, so they're set up like this, and I would get lost there sometimes.
I remember I would get dropped off by the flagpole because I was really nervous to walk in by myself. So my mom and her friends would meet my friends all there, and we'd walk inside the building together.
You know, I remember seeing pictures from my kindergarten promotion. We would wear a cap. We didn't have like a gown, and we would have this stick with like this cutout happy face on it. And I don't remember the promotion that well, but I remember seeing pictures of the promotion. So those are some of the things I remember about St. Andrews Elementary School. We were the pebbles because St. Andrews High School were the rocks.
If you were involved in the construction team, stand up. We got to say thank you, because we wouldn't have this building without y'all. Some other names I'm going to mention, just because we need to recognize them: Ron Cramps, Dennis Burgess, and the facilities and maintenance staff. When we had the 5th grade celebration here early last year, at the end of last year, they were here making sure everything was clean and set up and cool, and parking was ready. So we just thank them. Erica Taylor and Claire, thank you so much for helping us get this together. So we are a school, we teach children, and we also now can have big events. So we are learning new things every day. I've already thanked Chris, but I'm going to thank Chris and Todd again for their help with the video, and for anything. If we call them and say we need a new intro to our school news, they're there to help us. So thank you so much. And Daniel Head, where is he popped back? There's Mr. Bobby right there. Thank you, sir. We honored you before we didn't get seated. Thank you very much. Daniel Head works with the media department, and he's helped me through some newspaper articles and all kinds of things that a principal usually doesn't get to do. So he's been very helpful. And at this point, I'd like to have Jennifer Wood and Janetta Gregory come up. And Miss Easterby and Miss Peacock are supposed to be here right now, but they're chickening out. But I want you to see these people. These are the people that when we were moving in and we had to work between construction workers and teachers and students, they did the work. I am just the person standing at the podium, but these are the people you need to thank. They were patient, hardworking. And I do want to thank my family, support staff. My husband is running sound. You saw us bickering just a minute ago over here. And Ms. Alyssa Parrish, who works in Office of Teacher Effectiveness, is my sister-in-law, and she did the flowers and kind of helped brainstorm with us and get us focused on this. So I have to thank her. She's working now very hard, but she's working. And the teachers and faculty and staff and students here at St. Andrews, we couldn't have had this move so smoothly without y'all. So teachers, if you're here, the teachers that are here, please stand up. This is for you, the students and teachers. This is yours. We also have some other special guests from the community and from past alumni and our SIC representatives here, and there's some PTA representatives. If y'all would stand up, and then we're going to recognize some of you a little bit later, but if y'all would stand up, just thank you. The PTA, the SIC was integral in meeting with the community, and the PTA was our financial support beyond the realm. So now we go on with the program. We're having some special guests make some remarks. Bill Moody is our first speaker today. He is with the City of Charleston. And then Mr. Rita Postlethwaite, the Superintendent of Schools. And Mr. Lewis, I believe, had an unexpected engagement, so he is not able to be here, but if he shows up, we'll put him right in the show. So, Mr. Moody?
Thank you very much, Amy. I'm so pleased to be here, and I bring you greetings from Mayor Riley. As Amy said, he couldn't be here this morning, and every once in a while we get to fill in for him, and I'm more than happy to do that. As you all know, he is not going to be our mayor much longer, and you might say, well, he's not here because he doesn't care. Well, that's not the case at all. Joe today is working as hard as he was that first day on the job, so he's staying at it. So I bring you greetings from him and the rest of City Council. I want to maybe talk a little bit of a personal story. I was looking at the pictures up there, and I was trying to find my son Brian. That was probably the 40s, that probably my picture up there rather than his. But Brian, about 45 years ago, started his public education at St. Andrews Elementary. So as I had the opportunity to make some remarks, I started thinking about the history that I've had and our families had with this school and this area. Somewhere along Brian's career, he kind of got into maybe a bad spell with his grades and stuff, and I don't know where these inspirations come from. It's not that I'm very smart, but I remember having a talk with Brian, and I wouldn't tell this story except I know he's told it publicly before. And basically what I told him was that his grades weren't very good and that I was not happy with what was going on, and he kind of started giving me some excuses that, this C was okay, that was passing, that was getting by. And I said, well, that's not really correct. If you're going to be satisfied with a C, you'll probably, graduate with C's. You'll get a C job. You'll probably, get a C salary. You'll drive a C car. You'll buy a C house. And I just kept going. You'll have a C wife. Your kids will be C. I said, you'll probably even have a C dog. And I think that's what kind of did him in. But needless to say, he went on, he was a leader in the Chamber of Commerce and actually headed up the very first, for the business community, the very first referendum, bond referendum, about $280 million to start this whole school building project that we've had in the county. And he didn't get it right the first time, so he came back and we did it again and got it right. And since that time, all these schools around here that we've built in Mount Pleasant, North Charleston, just incredible. We've had a second bond referendum. When Brian's kids got involved in school, he decided to run for the school board. He served on the school board for 12 years. He just got off about 4 years ago. So right now he's battling some health issues, and but I can't wait to go to him and give him a hug this afternoon and tell him, well, you finally got that A. You really have done something that will live on. And so, I'm proud to be here, and I can't leave the stage without just mentioning the name Carrio. Tom Carrio was a very, very dear friend of mine. His wife and my wife have been friends since they were in grammar school. So Tom and I didn't have any choice but to like each other and get along. But Tom was a coach out at St. John's. He was a principal, he was a superintendent, he was administrator. His love of education and dedication to this school district just goes beyond words. I see his son sitting over here, who is Brian's lifelong buddy, and of course, Amy Carrio. I don't know how she got this education DNA from the Carrios, because I know she married into it, but this school, you better hold on, because she's going to lead it to great heights, and I'm going to be watching, and I know that it's going to be great, and I'm just excited to be here, and thanks very much, so appreciate it.
Good morning. It's my great pleasure to be here today to be part of this celebration. I'm speaking to you on behalf of the members of the Charleston County Board of Education and all of the employees who comprise the Charleston County School District. We're here this morning to celebrate with you and to congratulate you on reaching this wonderful destination. We know the road hasn't been easy. It hasn't been without its challenges, its detours, its potholes along the way. But with the great collaboration and cooperation among our district leaders, the construction crew, the architects, the engineers, the city of Charleston, the local constituent board, the Charleston County Board, the legislative delegation, and community leaders, we were able to pull together this sort of facility. I want to thank again Mr. Mike Bobby, whose vision and whose understanding of how to put together the financing structure that would support this school and many others has been a great gift to this district. Mike, again, we want to thank you for all of your work, both in the finance and operations part of the district and for leading during the past year as the interim superintendent. So thank you again. I hope you'll join with me in thanking Mike. Finally, I want to say, as you entered the building today, you may have noticed the pictures and awards that sort of celebrate the history of St. Andrews Elementary School and the migration into St. Andrews School for math and science. It's an exciting, exciting time. This school represents a community that cares. The great legacy we have from those who came before us in this school is caring about education, caring about children, and wanting the very best for them. We are so happy that you're here. We're looking forward to great things. The school was built on the vision of others who came before us, the deep connection to children, the commitment to making sure that every child in our district has an opportunity to be and become and grow beyond what anyone could have imagined. As a famous Native American said, this school represents a community that said, let us put our heads together and see what we can do for our children. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Moody and Ms. Postlethwaite. It was fantastic. Your words were very inspiring, and Next time I'm gonna have you guys speak for me, because I'm not as eloquent as you all. I want to introduce Mr. Jeff Barowie, who's in charge of facilities and capital programs. He has, from the first day we met, because I came on this project midway, which I'll tell the story later, just been a phenomenal asset to the district in being a good steward of money and services and resources. So thank you so much.
All right, they get all worried when I go off the stage. That's my way. I'm gonna need some help from the kids out here. Oh, everybody raise their hand. You see that, Miss Gario? They all raise their hand wanting to help. So, okay, I'll get to you. I'm working my way back there. So, I'm gonna recognize some folks that were part of this construction project. I know Miss Carey already had them stand, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about most of them here right now. So, we had the design team, and that was the architect engineer team of FWA and Clancy Wells. You guys stand one more time. Give them a round of applause. Thank you. Okay. I want to especially recognize Mark Clancy, who's second from the end there. Mark was part of the community relations all the way through the end, up until the last bit of work we had to do out here. Now, my first question for the kids is, what does the architect engineer do? What do they do? They develop what? That hand right there, second from the end. Yeah. Go ahead. They design. And so when they come up with their design, what do they put that on paper, right? What's the paper called? Right there. Blueprints. Okay, so I got a blueprint here. You kids are going to help me open that up, all right? Open that up. Look at this. This is one big blueprint. All right, why don't you grab the other end there? All right, what's it say in the lower right-hand corner once you get it open? The lower right down in that corner. What does that say? Look at that. First floor, does it say ductwork? Okay, and you're looking up in the air. What's ductwork? I see some right up there, right? What does the ductwork do? This young man right here. The pipes that bring what? Air, right? Cold air and warm air. Is that all the drawings we need? We need just one drawing? No. Hang on a second. I'm going to go over here. You guys, tell me what's in this drawing. What's it say there in the lower right? Right there. The second word.
Electrical.
Electrical. Is electricity important in this building? Why is that? What do you need electrical for? Right there, what do you need electrical for? Lights, right? How about the kitchen? You gotta have lunch, right? So is 2 drawings enough? No. There's another drawing. What's that one say? What's this word right here?
Waste and vent.
Oh, waste and vent. How many of you flushed the toilet in here? Oh, I hope everybody did. All right, did it all go in the right direction? All right, it works. You guys did a good job. You did a good job. It worked. Okay, so we got waste. You can open that up. 3 drawings. Do we need any more? Yeah. What's that one say?
Landscape.
Landscape plan. So what's outside? What's outside of this school? Grass, plants. How about the parking lot, right? And what's the favorite thing outside? All right, recess was my favorite subject. I got an A in recess. Not really. Okay. I appreciate all your help, but that's 4 drawings. How many drawings do you think we had? Give me a guess. 5. You can guess. How many?
8.
How about higher? How many? 10? Higher? 15? Higher?
20.
20. Somebody's got to go a lot higher than that. Okay. 50. Higher. 60. You guys are way off.
120.
120. Higher. 121. Higher. She said 2,000. You guys do 2,000 drawings? I don't think so. But 270 drawings. Now so that's the roadmap for this building. And then The guys that take the roadmap are called the general contractors. In China Construction, Mike Watson, please stand. China Construction, they had hundreds of workers out here. Please stand, Kim. Hundreds and hundreds of workers out here building this building. And then in the end, you're sitting in furniture, right? All of the nice furniture that we have. Where's Winchester Brown? I saw him here. Where did he disappear to? There he is right here. His team outfitted this building at the end. Let's give Winchester's team a hand. Thanks, guys. All right, and finally I want to thank the construction management firm. And these are the folks that they take care of me. They make sure that this project is done right in the end. They provide the overview of the whole thing, and that's Cumming Construction Management. I know Richard Copel is here today. Richard on the end. Jay's not here, but Dallas is here. Dallas, I want you to come up here. So, this man here, Dallas. You heard that word before, Dallas? That's a city, right? That's his name, too. That's his name. But Dallas is the heart and the face of this school right from the start. All right? Thank you, Mr. Riddle. Every time I had a problem, I went to this man. Every time somebody out here had a problem, they went to this man. Every time Miss Carey had a problem, she went to this. Everybody went to this man for help. And so I want to recognize him with a Charleston County Capital Programs coin in recognition of his service. Don't go selling that on eBay. There's only a few of those out there. I might have to buy it to somebody else. Thank you, Mr. Gailey. All right. And the last person I want to thank is Miss Carey. Miss Carey, come up here, please. Nobody's thanking you today. You're thanking everybody. Come on up here. All right. Come on. A lot of applause for your principal. Yeah. Now, stand ovation over here. So, one thing I would disagree with Councilman Moody, if you'll indulge me, sir, is that I think she already has done, she built a great school here. She's gone from good to great. And I will tell you that in all the principals I've worked with, Ms. Cario has demonstrated the most teamwork, the most dedication, the most perseverance, and she's remained calm under fire. In the military, they like to say, you've got to have a good battlefield commander, but she's both a battlefield commander and a peacetime commander, and I want to thank you for everything you've done being our partner out here. Thank you.
These are really neat, by the way. My father was in the Air Force, and he had these for his tactical command. Before we do the next piece of the service of dedication, I have two more people I need to thank, actually three. Mr. Pusey, Walt Pusey, please stand up. And family and home, Walt actually helped work on the Cario Middle School project, which is a little near and dear to our heart, so thank you. Also, Dallas, you need to come back up. So it is true, and I'm going to take this off. It is true what Mr. Burry said. If something wasn't working, if something was missing, or if we just couldn't find it and it was right under our noses, or if the balloons detached from the table today and fly up to the second floor, and I tried to climb out on the beam and he told me no, Dallas was here. And we can't thank you other than making you an honorary magnet. So we are giving you, we didn't give you the tie-dye one because we wanted you to wear it. But we are making, you are one of our family, and we are so thankful, and we want you here as long as you want to stay. So the next piece is the service of dedication, but I would be remiss without introducing Mark Shea, who was the principal that I replaced, and I had some big footprints to fill. Did all the hard work. He had to meet with the community when they said, we don't want a big school, we want a small school. He had to meet with the community when they said, we want parking over here, we don't want parking over here. And he had to pick out the drawings and reach consensus on which picture, which building, which structure would fit for our school and for our children here in this neighborhood. And so I got the easy job, you got the hard job, and I think we need to congratulate Mr. Shea. But I do have to publicly ask you one question. So when we he moved to the swing space at Oakland, he was given the opportunity to choose a color palette for the classrooms. Had you gone to Miami like right before this? Yes? Okay.
I'm a fan of Miami Vice, Don Johnson.
Well, I felt the need to wear my collar flipped up every day.
They're calming. They're very calming colors.
Now, the salmon in the cafeteria. No.
It looked a little better on paper.
On the chip. So we had to make just one little adjustment. We left the salmon on top, but we put white on the bottom so that we could. It was your last thing. Well, and stay right up here. We also have Mr. Funderburg, who is the principal. Please let me get this right. Were you after Mr. Culbertson? So if you would like to just, let's see, we'll slide a. This is Mr. Funderburg. So we had, who was the principal before Mr. Culbertson? No, before. The beginning. So Mr. Culbertson was first, then Mr. Funderburg, then Kay Shariari, and then Kevin Conklin, and then Mark, and now me. Wow. The family. So if you please look in your your program, and we're going to do the service of dedication. Please stand.
Properly guide and direct the youth of our community to the full concept of life, mentally, spiritually, and physically. We dedicate this school for the understanding of the necessity to live in peace and to train our youth in the importance of mutual acceptance. We dedicate this school to the development of the whole person, the broadening of knowledge, the development of skills, and the enrichment of personality and character. We dedicate this school to the cause and we have the early examples for our children to follow. To the training of citizenship that will lead to safe, clean, and wholesome community life, enriched by our service, and acquaintance with one's fellow man. We dedicate this school and pledge ourselves to follow to realize that each student is different in ability and skills, to accept the fact that there are varied ethical and moral backgrounds, to present truth to the students, thus permitting him or her to select degrees of development that he or she so desires in all walks of life. We dedicate this school. And so while we're standing, we would like to invite all the students and alumni to recite our school creed. Ready, guys? As a student at St. Andrews, I pledge to accept the opportunity to grow and learn all that I can today. I will be responsible for my words and my actions. I will respect the rights and feelings of others. I pledge to be kind and helpful to my classmates, friends, and teachers. Today I dedicate myself to become the best I can be. Thank you, guys. Oh, give me a round of applause. Everybody have a seat? And now our fabulous St. Andrews Math and Science chorus will come up for a final music selection. And then we'll have closing remarks from Terry Nichols. After the closing remarks, we do have wonderful refreshments for the adults. Sorry, kids, we'll get snack later. And we want to give tours, so after you get some refreshments, meet us back up here. We're prepared to give some tours of this great new building and Hedgehog.
To
Let's have another round of applause for this wonderful chorus. Many years ago when and it still continues today, when I hear children sing, I always get teary-eyed. So when I have to speak right after a children's chorus, I always look like I've been crying, and it's probably because I haven't. I want to just say thank you to everybody that came today. Students, you were absolutely wonderful. The legacy at St. Andrews Elementary that began so many years ago with Mr. Culberson. It's good to see you, Floyd. I haven't seen you in a long time. It's so good to see you. And others that came before. Mr. Shea, it's good to see you. And it began many years ago, and it's now transitioned into this beautiful building. And under the leadership of Mrs. Cario, her fabulous assistant principal, her teachers, the wonderful students, the ties to the community, all of the support that we get from our school district, this school will continue to grow and become even more excellent in its pursuit of educating our young people. We're building the leaders of tomorrow. The young boys and girls will turn into the young men and women. They will be the leaders of our city, and I am so proud that they began here at St. Andrews School of Math and Science. And thank you all for coming. Adults on the way out, there are some favors, so you can remember this day. If you please take one on the way out. Thank you, Amy. I know you're glad that this is all behind you, and boys and girls, you are finally home, so good job. Thank you.